So are you a backswing loader or a downswing loader? And what's the difference? Well, a lot. If you're a downswing loader, you're the guy that bombs it miles. So when we look at a characteristic of a backswing loader, we see a number of things. Firstly, we tend to see very little separation between the pelvis and the upper body going back. They also make very long backswings and very slow ones as well. And when they reach the top of the backswing, they don't increase any separation that they may have by moving the pelvis first. Now, when you compare that to a downswing loader, you see a much faster action going back, a bigger separation between the upper body and lower body, and that enables them then to create more of a fast stretch, shortened cycle of the muscles. But more importantly, one thing, when they get to the top of the backswing, they haven't finished stretching. They stretch their pelvis out more on the downswing to increase that X factor. And by doing that, they then get this load and explode effect. A lot more dynamic movement in the golf swing. And from that, you'll increase your clubhead speed, therefore potentially the shot distance. So we're now looking at the kinematic sequence of backswing loading, and what you're able to see is that throughout the backswing there's very little separation between the pelvis red line and the upper body green line. This indicates that the body has little to no length of stretch and that the hips and shoulders are simply turning together. This kind of stretch is normally very slow on the backswing. You can also see that there's no loading on the downswing to gain added power, and the hands and the club are working in isolation to the body. So I'm now going to train with K-Vest DVT software, and I've set it up so that it will give me audio feedback at the top of the backswing when I'm disassociating my pelvis from my upper body, and then I'm going to turn that audio sound off by moving my pelvis first before my upper body, and this will create the downswing loading movement pattern that I'm looking for. So I'm going to rehearse it a few times and then I'm going to hit a couple of shots. With the contrasting method of downswing loading, you can clearly see an increase in separation between the pelvis and upper body on the early stage of the backswing. There's also an increase in stretch at the transition phase, normally caused by the dynamic loading of the forward movement. The speed of the stretch is normally faster, causing the kinetic chain to fire in a more efficient manner and produce more power transfer. So when you compare both swing loading methods, there are clear differences that will result in various power outputs. The move away, transition, and the ability to finish the loading on the downswing, even by a small amount, will have an effect. And by looking at the relationship between the graphs using K-Vest, you can begin to understand just how to increase your power efficiency.